Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Animation Analysis. As always, I'm Sam.
And good morning. My name is Immortal. Yeah.
Alright, so today we've got Sauron versus the Lich King, and this one, we're gonna apologize in advance, especially to anyone here that's like a World of Warcraft fan. Mortal and I have like little to like zero knowledge of World of Warcraft, and as for Lord of the Rings, I've watched like the movies like ages ago and haven't gone back to check them at all, and Immortal knows kind of nothing. So if we miss out
I've
on
never watched the Lord of the Rings movies. I know nothing about World of Warcraft.
yeah, so like if we miss any details of the animation, you'll have to forgive us because we just don't really care about World of Warcraft. So with that, we're just going to be mostly looking at this from like a semi-neutral position. Again, as we always just mainly look at the animation. Like, I'm going to be slightly biased here because I do really still like Sauron as an antagonist. But anyways, with that out of the way, we'll let us begin. Okay, I say this every time nowadays, but like the stage, the background, everything, this looks so well done. Like, I think a good comparison, like, I'm getting red for groans. This reminds me a lot of like how Ruby structures their like 3D stages for like their animations. I really love how this area looks.
Yeah, the environments for Death Wells lately are just really fucking good.
Yeah. Okay, starting off, Lich King's model. I think this one's ripped from an existing game, but it looks fine. I guess my only issue is it kind of looks a little short, a little wide, but that's not the main issue. The main issue we'll talk about later. Yeah, like, I will say, I really like the glow they do with the Lich King's eyes, even though it kind of looks like Sans.
If it was Sans, it'd be one eye. And not every glowing blue eyes has to be Sans.
Hey, like,
Also, he looks like a manlet.
yeah, that's actually the right term I was thinking of. Like, his model makes him look like a manlet, especially compared to Sauron's, which we'll get to in a bit. Okay, starting off, I love how the first thing we see is like that is a very loud stomp. And like you see the cracks in the ice, I like that a lot. And we don't immediately see Sauron. What we see, I love this like panning shot of like his shadow slowly going forward and just looping over the Lich King. That is so well done.
It is a decently cool shot, yeah.
Yeah, because with how Sauron is in the Lord of the Rings film, him being like sort of shrouded fits his role. And like as he intros, we get like the whispers, like before he actually speaks.
I shall claim what is mine.
Oh yeah, that introduction, his just I shall claim what is mine. I love that so much. It's just so badass. And of course, Lich King's response isn't anything to shy from either.
I'm gonna be completely honest here. I don't like Sauron's voice.
You will find only death.
Yeah, I can understand that, because the performance they were going with is the more like raspy type villain. Well, on the other hand, like going back to like Lich King.
In this cold north, you will find only death.
Still,
I think his voice is fine. It fits. I just don't like Sauron's interpretation.
it doesn't sound that different from what I remember in the movies. Actually, you want to know something really funny? In one of the movies, I think it was like The Hobbit, Sauron's voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, more well known as Doctor Strange in the MCU. Yeah, it didn't really. Anyways. Oh yeah, I actually like Lich King's first attack here, like the way he launches. It's not like unlike one of those super. It's like it's fast, but not too fast. Like it's the correct amount of like movement speed you'd expect from like a bulky character in a way. Like just boom, like you can hear the like weight of their
The
movement.
boom.
Yeah, it's like it's not like super fast, but it's just fast enough. Really neatly done, in my opinion. And like continuing on like with the weight talk, it's like I love how you can absolutely just hear and feel the weight behind their strikes. And going back to the model issue, yeah, this is the kind of issue. It's like Sauron's a much more realistic looking model. It kind of clashes a lot with Lich King. Like not as badly compared to some of the other examples we could probably bring up, but like just it's like Sauron feels a little too small in comparison to the Lich King. While Lich King also suffers from the kind of small, but because he's wide. Like,
Yeah.
I guess you could have made it. I guess it would have. Honestly, I think it would have been perfectly fine if they made like Sauron a little bit taller, like because he's like He's like 2 feet taller than the Lich King, if I recall correctly. But yeah. Like another thing, like when the environmental damage is like very noticeable. Like when Sauron smashes it there, you can see some of the ice crack on the ground from the impact. And then when he does it again, there's just very noticeable cracks. I really like this. It really gives a sort of like weight to the way Sauron fights, which makes sense because he was like
one dumb looking sword.
It's a mace.
You just said it was a sword, though.
Did I say?
And you recorded it, so I'm right.
I'm going to look back at the recording and I'm going to either be really annoyed or I'm going to look like an idiot. Anyways, it's like, yeah, like, you really feel the weight of Sauron's strike. It's really well done. Oh yeah, the visual effects here of, like, the spirits, really cool. Oh, continuing on, like, effects, I love when Sauron clenches his fist to use the power of the One Ring. The writing on the ring glows before it just becomes a fiery inferno. It's really cool. And him just straight up just stealing one of the souls the Lich King used and turning it fiery, really well done. Okay, now this ice spell effect kind of looks a little too cartoony, like kind of too much like a snowball. But I can forgive this from because from the few little bit of World of Warcraft footage I've seen, I think the spells kind of look like that. It's weird. Oh, and here, one of my favorite parts of the fight. Big Doggo just jumps out. And this is a really cool transformation transition. Like the paw's like right on Lich King's chest before it bursts the flames into Sauron's form, and he just appears in flames as he just grabs Lich King by the throat. That is so cool. And then
I'll tear out your heart. You will find nothing.
that is one of the most raw exchanges the show has ever done. Because yeah, because this is something that comes up. They do mention in the analysis. Arthas, the Lich King, did rip out his own heart. So like, someone's like, "I'm going to rip out your heart." It's like Arthas is like, he's already done that. So
We'll just do it again.
do it again.
Your heart. You will find nothing.
Okay, floating Lich King. I'm just gonna say it now. Looks really dumb.
Yeah, that just looks bad, honestly.
Like the floating that happened earlier on, that was fine because it was like, it's not really floating. It's like him just pushing off in a way. Here, it looks really, really bad. Oh yeah, the blizzard effect is really well done. I like it a lot.
Oh, absolutely. It does look really good.
Yeah, it looks exactly like how a snowstorm should. And how does Sauron respond? Oh, casually erupts a volcano. And I want to talk about how visually appealing this is, because if you look at the mountain, the top, it collapses on itself before the lava just explodes. Like, the collapsing. Like, look at that. It just crumbles in before exploding. And visually, you can see like a red circle of heat expand and turn the blue sky red. Like, this is so visually well done. I love this. Like, even the shockwave that slightly distorts how things look, this is incredible.
Like, that shot is really good.
I was like, just the shot of us looking up at Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the "I see you" line straight out of the movies, and just for Lich King right up there behind there. Do you know what's nuts? I think they did like, oh, the enemy's right behind you much better than they did in Jason versus Michael like last episode. Because in Jason vs. Michael, it's just a single camera shot, and Michael just slowly lowers in. Here, we have two shots. We only see Sauron down here, then the camera angle changes to reveal Lich King. I think it's way more well done here.
Yeah.
And just like, look at that visual. Fire versus ice. It's just like, it feels that like the elements themselves are fighting. It's so cool.
This is honestly, like, I think my favorite shot of the episode. Like, this, holy shit.
Just like Sauron and Lich King clashing as the fire and ice background just intensifies. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is just like, this episode has so many great shots. Like, and we're not even, we're just about to reach the climax of the fight. And then Sauron catches the blade. But that proves to be a somewhat fatal mistake. Oh yeah, the black blood is, I think it's a kind of a nice touch here. To like emphasize how I don't remember him actually bleeding when like he gets his fingers cut off in the movies, but like the black blood, really nice touch, honestly. And like Sauron getting infected by the plague, I think it's really like translated really well here, because like, the way he moves here, if you notice, like in comparison to the much more like powerful movements he did earlier, he kind of has like a sluggish move. His strikes,
he's like fatigued, yeah.
Yeah, like the strikes are like way more sluggish, and when he loses his mace, he doesn't just like toss it to the side or like drop it on the ground. He goes for one more swing, and he's just so exhausted he accidentally lets go of it mid-swing. I think that's really neatly done. And then just,
You serve me now. I serve no one.
the transition of Sauron to Lich King. You serve me now, Sauron. I serve no one. As he discards his physical body and becomes the Eye. That is so cool.
Okay. The way they do the eye is fucking breathtaking. Holy shit.
Yeah, like
so good.
this looks incredible. Like I don't even want to know how many nights these animators had to do to make that look just holy hell.
Probably about 2 hours.
Like you have the main eye and just all those fire effects, all that lighting. Like man,
This is the power of the Unreal Engine.
was this on animated in Unreal Engine?
Yeah, when the animators tweeted out the shots they did for it.
Ah.
And they said it was Unreal.
And just like the way the eye twitches as it looks at Lich King, just like
It's not smooth, it's like...
it's rigid.
jagged. That's how eyes actually move.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate to the movies too. And just like Lich King just looking at his bow, just confused. Can I say something? Another thing I really like? From this angle, it looks a lot more spherical. But from when we're looking at it dead on, it's a lot more like it looks a lot flatter, and I think that really works.
Yeah.
And like, we see like, the fake copy of, it's like him showing the hallucination, the Lich King of him losing, and Lich King busting out his own empowered eye to counter it, giving us
Okay. I don't like that. I actually don't.
The Lich King's eye?
They don't establish it's a thing Lich King can do.
Yeah,
it just comes out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, he has an eye now. Why?
That's a thing in the analysis.
The purpose of a cool shot, but like, it's just
the eye's a thing he can do.
Really?
Yeah, no, if you, yeah, they mention it in the analysis that he has an analysis, like, eye thingy too, and it's actually just, like, it is, I believe that Lich King was actually just straight up based off of Sauron, so it makes sense he has, like, an eye-related thingy.
I still don't like it.
We just got the world's weirdest, the hottest and coldest staring contest in existence now.
Oh man.
You speak nothing but lies.
Like Lich King trying to just overpower Sauron's eye, only for him creating a new physical body wreathed in flames, and this is my honestly my favorite part of the episode. The way he shatters the sword, like like it's so well done. Like you think it might be a clash, but like maybe a deadlock or something, but no. The blade shatters, and we get a very quick frame of the eye, which is another thing in the movies, because, like, at one point in the movies, when someone tried to, like, destroy the ring by, like, Gimli tried destroying the ring by, like, bringing an axe down on it, like, the axe kind of just broke apart, and we get, like, a brief flash of, like, the Eye of Sauron. It's so cool. And the sound design, too, it's just, like...
Sounds meaty.
That shattering noise, the flash noise when we get to the eye, right to the shatter, so well done. And then like, as you notice, it's like it's partially frozen as it goes back to pan to show, as like the shards are still in the air, that the strike shattered the Lich King's eye too. And then Sauron, he doesn't go for a finishing blow yet. As like the shards of the sword start releasing every one of the souls Lich King's consumed over the years. As the Lich King realizes what happened, and Sauron just flamingly teleports right in front of the same throne. That was it's just, and then...
I can be completely honest. The death is kind of underwhelming. At least to me.
I can kind of understand that, but I personally really like it, thanks to like just how badass Sauron is here with his line. It's one ripped straight from the movies, but I love how it's used here. Like, yeah, kind of, it might be because, like, Lich King's somewhat, like, more or less detailed model compared to Sauron, kind of looking a little goofy as he's, like, raised by the fiery tornado. And, like, I guess, yeah, a soul drain is kind of lame, I mean, it's cool, but all things considered, they could have done maybe a little more. But, like, I love the shot of just, like, the body collapsing and the eyes just losing their light and slowly fading out, because like the Lich King's glowing eyes were one of the most noticeable parts of his like appearance, and now they're just gone. It's so, I love that so much. I think I guess maybe it's just like, I understand, he could have had maybe a bit more of an impact when he fell, but I still think it's really well done. Oh, and when Sauron sits down, because he's a fiery guy, he's melting the snow and the ice throne a bit. And just like this shot
is pretty cool, though.
all fire now, barely any ice.
Except for, the ice that's on screen.
And even then, it's just changed in shade a lot. It's just like, this is I really like this episode. So like, okay, the shot we're gonna leave it on is like right when they're clashing, and you're like,
yeah, there's fine.
yeah, that's fine. Okay, so other positives. Okay, the voice acting. Let's discuss it first. Ryan Solis' performance as Sauron.
Again, I didn't really like.
Yeah, that's
voice,
generally
honestly.
like a preference of voice. Like I like the voice because it fits Sauron, and it's pretty similar to how he is in the movies. But I can completely understand if someone else would not like his performance. I mean, not the performance. I mean, like the type of voice. But on the other hand, you have Philip Sacramento as the Lich King, and honestly, Philip did another really good job, even though this is his 4th L on the show.
What are his other L's?
Yoda and Yoda versus King Mickey, Akuma and Akuma versus Shao Kahn, and Aizen and Madara versus Aizen.
Oh.
That is also just that also just goes to show Philip's range, like Yoda, Akuma, Aizen, and now Lich King. Like, huh?
Does it compare to the guy who voiced Mario and then Sephiroth?
And then Boba Fett and Black Adam. Yeah, music. Music really. I really liked the One King to rule them all. It's not one of those like super memorable tracks, but it's a really good background like orchestral track that really fits like the type of fight that this is. Really liked it.
I have nothing to say on it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have no opinion.
Yeah. With that said, though, rating this episode, I'm personally willing to, from my personal standpoint, I'm giving it 10 out of 10 because I love this episode, love the animation, love the episode. Like, definitely one of the heavier hitters of season 9 for me. What about you?
Like a 7.
Yeah, I guess that's fair because, again, if you don't have much knowledge of either of both characters, you're not going to probably be invested as much. So, like 7, so if we meet in the middle, that makes,
Like an 8.5.
8.5, yeah. Still a pretty good ranking. So, yeah, 8.5. Really like this episode, personally. Maybe much more neutral, in my opinion. And before we finish, let's talk about that next time, because, well then,
I was not expecting that.
yeah, like, Immortal's the one that has more knowledge on this than me, because he actually follows My Hero a bit, but, so...
I followed until like season 3, I think. I just stopped.
So, as the person that's actually more familiar with My Hero than I am, what do you think about this?
I was not expecting it.
Yeah,
But
like,
at the very least, I'm fucking happy that it's not Deku versus Gon.
Yeah, honestly, that matchup's just kind of lame, all things considered. And like, what was Deku's other really popular matchup?
Like for Asta or Deku?
I'm talking about Deku first. I think his other popular matches were like Miles Morales, which,
Yeah. And Kamala
honestly-
Khan, I think her name is.
huh?
Kamala Khan, I think her name is.
Kamala Khan, and I've heard of Izuru Kamakura from Danganronpa, which I guess I would have been fine with, but
My personal favorite Deku match is like Deku versus Akko.
yeah, I guess
Little Witch
yeah, I
Academy.
guess that too. As for Asta, Asta's most popular is Meliodas, yeah?
yeah, and yeah, I'm just glad that didn't happen.
I still find it genuinely funny why, like the reasoning why they didn't go with Meliodas for Asta.
I hope we just don't get 7 deadly sins.
You just hope what?
I just hope we don't get 7 deadly sins.
No. I don't think we're actually gonna ever get 7 deadly sins on the show from like what one of the people said. Do you want to know the reasoning why they didn't use Meliodas?
Well, what was the reasoning? Like, I'm pretty sure I know it, but like
the member of the research team, I don't remember who it was. They said they're not using 7 deadly sins because most of the characters have pedophilia things.
oh yeah, like okay. I'm not gonna get into it during recording, but like, yeah.
Yikes.
You know what? It is big yikes.
Is it like one of those things where it's like, oh, if you ignore this part, the thing is actually like really good?
No.
7 deadly sins is just not good?
The action I've heard is fine. Like, I watched the first season before all this shit was like really well known. But like, it's one of those series I regret getting really into.
Well, I'm gonna be honest though, Deku versus Asta as a matchup, I'm fine with it personally. It actually, the more unique and type of I actually like it more when Death Battle does matchups that aren't like super expected for certain characters. Like, I think we're gonna get a pretty interesting episode for this.
Like, they're going with popular, but not like the most popular, or at least doing sort of a different spin on the matchup.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with this, honestly. Like, this it brings a more like unique ideas to the table, and I honestly have a high. You know what? I'm not gonna say I have high hopes for the episode. I don't know much about My Hero and Black Clover, but on the bright side, it's genuinely funny how many people got depressed at this.
Yeah, at least they'll get Gon versus Kid Goku sometime.
Maybe, but
Or
like,
Killua versus Akane.
I'm just gonna use this to give a PSA. If you get depressed at at what a death battle does, like, please
Go
seek
touch
help.
some grass.
Please touch grass. Go outside. Drink some water. I don't know. Please stop getting emotionally invested in versus debating. Anyways, with that note, we'll end things off here. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm Sam.
And I'm immortal, and have a good one.
Yeah, see you all next time. Bye.